Hey y'all, welcome back to Harmon Homestead. We are in the greenhouse today, a little plastic greenhouse, and I'm going to show you how to start microgreens. So let's talk for a second before I start showing you everything. Microgreens are sprouts from seeds. Usually you will want something like a radish, lettuce, kale that grow really quick, and you can harvest the seedlings and you use that as a supplement for your salad, a garnish, or you can use these as a salad. It's just greens, okay? But it's the little sprouts from your seeds, and you will want to cut those off while they're pretty small, and you can eat them. Everything about the plant is edible that you're going to plant in the ground, such as kale, lettuce, again, radish. Carrots are kind of hard to start as far as microgreens. You can try that. Any plant, any vegetable seed that's edible, the sprout, okay? So, but what I like to use is lettuce or kale. I have tried sunflower microgreens before, and they've done excellent. I've actually planted our pasture garden with sunflower seeds and to have a sunflower crop, and they did great. And when I thin them out, when you thin your seedlings, that's what you're eating here. That's your microgreens. So what I've got is I've got just a plastic or aluminum pan here. You can use plastic, just whatever you so choose. You can get fancy with this. You can have all sorts of things. But right now, I just want a container, okay, to put my seed starting mix in. We have, I've done a video on this, our DIY seed starting mix. This is perlite, and let me show you. Let me see if I can reach down here and show you this. Okay, this right here, perlite. Perlite is the little white beads that you see in seed starting mix or your transplants. You've seen that before, guys. That allows drainage. They're just like a foam substance. They're very light. Okay, vermiculite. Vermiculite is a substance to help your seed starting mix with minerals, okay? And then the bulk of this is peat moss. Peat moss is the brown soil that you see. I don't know the correct term, but it's those three things: peat moss, vermiculite, and perlite. That's DIY seed starting mix. It's easy peasy, okay? I keep a tub of this mixed up. You want it to look like this, okay? So there's no fancy ratio on this, how much to add, how much to use. Just do a little bit of it, okay? So you're gonna put this in a container. And again, this is what I use to start my seeds, and we use the plastic bath cups with just a hole punched in the bottom for drainage. And on this, I'm not gonna do any drainage holes. I just wanna moisten the top of my container, and then I'm gonna plant the seeds. So I'm gonna fill up my container here. I've not used the greenhouse this year. I did last spring. I got this last spring, this greenhouse, and it did great, but I've not used it this winter. I probably should. It's sunny now. It's starting to warm up a little bit, so I'm going to use my greenhouse this time. So fill up our container here, okay? And you just want some dirt in there. It does not have to be fancy, guys. This is not something that you're going to turn around and plant in the garden. You just want enough to get the seeds started. So a little bit of dirt, okay? I just did it halfway, all right? Just like that. Isn't that beautiful? That is good stuff there. So kind of spread it out, make it even. And then we have some kale seeds, and I'm literally gonna put the kale seeds all in this container. You can do this inside, and in fact, as a comparison, I'm gonna do one out here and one indoors on my plastic shelving in front of my huge windows, and see which one germinate and do the quickest. Of course, the ones inside are gonna do better, okay? That's a no-brainer. Around the heat, controlled temp, but let's see how this greenhouse does. And we'll go from there. So I'm just gonna take my seeds. I've got kale. I love kale. Kale is nutritious. It's easy. Anybody can grow it, okay? Anybody can go out and grow kale. If you've never seen kale seeds before, I'm just pouring out just a handful here. And that's what I love about this. You don't have to go through here and make little spaces and all that. You're just wanting to spread the seeds out. These are kale seeds, if you can see. Okay, and I just dropped some. Doesn't matter, okay? We're just spreading them out everywhere. I may have poured too many in my hands anyways. Like, literally, guys, spread them out. That's it. Just throw them out over your seed starting mix everywhere. That's it. Okay, we'll see how long it takes for this to germinate. Now, as you notice, I did not do drainage holes in this. I'm literally just going to moisten the top and let that be it. I don't want this saturated. Okay, that's it. Now, you always want, anytime you're starting a seed, for your seed to have great contact with the soil so it will germinate. So what I'm going to do is just kind of spread my hands around to cover this stuff up, the seeds, to get them mixed in. See if you like this, because come spring planting time, you'll be able to, when you thin your seedlings out in the garden, if you start from seed, you'll be able to eat those depending on what it is. I've only used edible vegetables. Again, radishes, lettuce, kale. You want something that's going to germinate really quick. Really quick. A lot of people rotate these once a week to have fresh microgreens. I love a salad. I love it. So, this way, I'll have my own little salad. Then just give it a pat, okay? I've just kind of spread my hand over that to mix the seeds in, and just pat it down, okay? If you get worried about it, just put a little extra seed starting mix on top. I'm just gonna get my hands down here. And guys, get your hands dirty, okay? Don't be scared. It's just dirt, okay? It's good. Soil, dirt, whatever you call it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That is good stuff. Just spreading it out like that. Okay, now I'm going to water it. I've told you before, the easiest way to water anything, if you're starting it inside, outside, is using a turkey baster. That's the easiest thing, or a sprayer. Okay, this would be great with a sprayer. Just a mister, okay? That's it. That's literally it, guys. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to take another tray inside and do the same thing. I use these to collect water from my little seedlings. Once I have these, those growing in the bath cups, we'll move from the bath cup to the plastic drinking cup, okay? They've lasted for now 3 years. Same cups, reusable. I put these in here when it's got actual plants to hold my drainage in the actual tray, okay? That just keeps it nice and neat inside, and I like it out here in the greenhouse too. Holds them, you can transport them easy. Y'all, this is cheap, this is easy. So, I'm going to do this again, and then tonight, we're going to start some eggplants. I don't know who likes eggplants and who doesn't, but we're going to start it. We're in central Alabama. We are in zone 7B, 8A, okay? It could go either way. It's on the county line. So, we are starting our pepper seeds. We've already done that. We're starting our eggplants. Look at your herbs. Lavender, rosemary, all of that. And those zones need to be started now. Always the end of January. And this year, it was a little bit sooner. Last year, I did January the 31st. This year, I can start now because Easter is earlier this year. Us Southerners always plant by Easter. We plant on Good Friday. We try to anyways. I don't know how the rest of you do. I don't know if it's that way in the Northeast and Midwest. That's what we do, okay? So we watch Easter. We're going to start all this. It takes a long time for those seeds to start that you're starting now. Don't think you'll have a 3-foot pepper bush in your house if you're doing that, or in your greenhouse. You won't. You won't. It takes like 2 weeks for these things to germinate, okay? But the kale right here, hopefully, won't take but a couple days. Hey y'all, we're back. So I wanted to do a follow-up comparison on the microgreens. Today is day 11. I'm outside in the unheated plastic greenhouse, and we've had lows in the 20s. Not consistently, but I was really worried about these. But I want to show you a comparison on the ones we started out here and the ones we started inside. So check this out. So I know the picture is not great, it's almost dark, but these are the kale seedlings that we started outside. Everything germinated beautifully. Look at that. However, they're very small. They're not leggy. Even though this plastic greenhouse is unheated, they have all germinated. They've done great. But kale likes cooler weather, so I don't know on this experiment. But anyways, we have these, but they are nowhere near ready to cut. You can see the tops there, but all of the greens are going to be our salad. You can use this to feed chickens. You can use this for yourself. There's multiple uses. But anyways, this pan is an aluminum pan. It has no drainage holes. I literally just watered the top and lightly, and it came up. So let me show you the ones inside. Last but not least, day 11, microgreens indoors in front of a huge window. So you can see these are very leggy. Leggy meaning that the stem is really long and everything just flops over. It's struggling for light. However, that doesn't matter to me because we're going to cut all of these and use this as a salad or a garnish. But you can see the growth difference. The ones in the greenhouse took longer to germinate, but as far as a healthier plant, the ones outside are darker, deeper green. They've been in 28-degree weather inside of a plastic greenhouse, but they're short, they're stocky. They would be beautiful for actual plants. You don't want this as a kale plant at all. That's not what you want. You want something that is not leggy. But if you're doing microgreens, again, indoors, you can do just fine. You could probably do this on your kitchen counter and it would be great. Microgreens, self-sustainability. Check it out. We'll see you next time on Harmon Homestead.